In this lesson, I'll show you how to play an open A7th chord. Okay, you heard two chords there, the A major chord and the A7th chord, also known as the A dominant 7th chord. And did you notice the tension that that chord gives? That's what a 7th chord can do for you and for a chord progression. Hi, I'm Dave and welcome to Guitar for Beginners. If this is your first time to this channel, then thanks for dropping by. So glad to have you here. 7th chords are a great bluesy chord you'll hear in a lot of chord progressions, especially in a 12-bar progression such as the 12-bar in A. And if you listen again, tell me what you notice about the chords. Now, did you notice that the chords feel unfinished? It needs to be resolved, it needs to go somewhere. Well, usually the next chord is a D chord. Now, the A7th chord makes the change to the D chord. It makes it feel so much more satisfying. And in general, 7th chords can give a chord progression a little bit of tension that a regular major chord can't do. In the lesson looking at the A major chord, we learned the shape like this, using the 2nd, 3rd and 4th fingers at the 2nd fret on the D string, the G string and the B string. Now I feel for the A7th chord, this shape that you see here is the best, because all we're doing is we are lifting the 4th finger up, we are putting the 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, so replacing the 4th finger. The G string is now open and we get this sound. Now I feel this is the best shape for beginners, because to go to the D chord, all you need to do now is lift up the 2nd finger, slide up 1 fret with your 3rd finger and then put the rest of the shape on. So that finger there, that 3rd fret, is kind of an anchor. It's keeping you attached to the fretboard so you're not all over the place. And so, as I said, this makes the change from A7 to D easier. If you have a look, there's your A7, lift up, slide up, put the rest of the chord on, and there you go. Here's the A, A7 to D. And it also helps if you're switching back from the D to the A7th chord, which you'll do in the 12-bar in D. And if you look at there at the last 5 bars, you can see how we go from D down to A7th to G to D and then the A7th chord before resolving back to the beginning and going on to a D again. There are other ways of playing the A7th. For example, when changing from A to A7, a lot of guitarists will just lift up the 3rd finger like this. There's your 3rd, lift, et voila. But the thing is, even though it's super easy to do that, it makes the transition to D and back again a little bit trickier, because it leaves you with more work to do. So, back again. Your fingers are leaving the fretboard a lot more there. Hit the like button if you're getting value out of this. Another way, and the most difficult way for beginners, is this version here. And as you see from the chart, the 1st finger is flattened across the 2nd fret of the D, G and B strings, where you would have the 2nd finger, 3rd finger and 4th finger. Now we're not going to do any kind of finger athletics like that and try to lift up part of the finger, because that would just be silly.
Right, stop that! Silly!
Instead, we're going to add one extra note, and we're going to put our third finger or our fourth finger on the third fret of the top E string. It can go like that, or it can go like that. Some people try to use the second finger, but I find that one a little bit more difficult. I use the fourth finger because it anchors me to the fretboard when I go back to a G chord, especially in something like the 12 bar in D. Now, more difficult for sure, but listen to this. There's your A major. And there is the 7th. And if you listen closely to him singing Peggy Sue, you'll hear him use this version of the chord just before he hits the D chord in, I think it's bar 5 of the verse. So have a listen to this. Here is the A7 D. And here's the other way. So which version do you like? The one with the 2 fingers, or the flattened first and the third or fourth finger on the top E string? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this lesson, then hit the notification button for more content like this and for lessons on other 7th chords. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.